Welcome to Chats with the Farmer's Daughter Fibers. My name is Candace English and I am the Farmer's Daughter. I'm very excited to be here. I'm feeling a little saucy today. I actually recorded like 10 minutes and then I had to start over because I was like, too much sauce, Candace. So here I am. I'm starting over. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be kind. I'm gonna be appropriate. If you haven't watched our podcast before, I am just chatting about yarn making, what we have new at FDF, what I'm reading. Yeah, that's kind of it. I do tend to go off on tangents. It's unedited, like I said. It might be helpful just to watch this at like a little bit higher speed. I don't want to be sounding like no chipmunk, so don't put me up too high. But just, because it takes me a little bit longer to say, I want to be mindful of what I'm saying. So yeah, just, try it. It might be helpful. I'm in my home office, which is a mess right now. And I like to do these at FDF. I mean, you can't see that it's really a mess. I can see it's a mess. I like to do these at FDF, but we're too busy, so I got to do them at home and hopefully not be interrupted. I just got back from Mexico. I did a retreat with Rachel from Virtual Dyes, and it was so much fun. We went to Tulum. We had a group of about 31, 32 women. They were amazing, such a good group. I love seeing there's always like a giggle of girls who like come together. And is giggle of girls offensive? I feel like I don't care. There's always a gaggle of girls who come together and they create a like fast, like strong bond friendship right away. I love seeing that. I love seeing the moms and the daughters, the sisters, the friends who are coming together and they're like hanging out and getting reacquainted with each other and just having a great time. It's just I love bringing people together. It's one of my favorite things. And I used to be kind of shy about saying that, but I do think it's a part of like one of my callings is bringing people together. And I think that I'm going to just embrace that. That is a skill of mine. So it was really fun. Andrea Mowry came and she taught some classes. She taught the same classes that she did the last time because that's what we had asked her to do because we loved them so much and they were so great. And she just kills it in teaching. She's so good. She's so I mean, that's the one thing about Andrea is she's so damn professional about everything and why I love her as a friend, but why I love her as a colleague. I just really appreciate that. And I think as customers and as learners, we all appreciate that from her. So it was just an honor to have her there. And we spent a lot of time on the beach. And, because Rachel, and I are all moms, we talk about our kids a lot and our hopes and our dreams and our wishes for our kids and what we're up to. And yeah, it's just really nice. It was like knitting moms gone wild with smoothies on the beach. It was great. And we played in the ocean a lot, and that was like my favorite thing was playing in the ocean. I just love it so much. It's like those good like rolling waves where you kind of get like jostled around a little bit. And I also did a Temazcal ceremony, which is like a Mayan sweat lodge, and that was also a huge highlight for me. I think that this is where I went awry on my last video. It was like talking about positivity and then maybe said some things that you know what? I was calling out craft snark is what happened, and I was like, let's not say that on a YouTube channel, Candace. But I'm gonna continue to say it. Just thinking about being, staying on the up and up with the world seemingly on fire. Not really sure what's happening out there, but I also think that there's a lot of good things still happening. And it's just important to me. This is what I learned when I was in Mexico. Also, while we were, okay, I'm all over the place. While we were in Mexico at the resort, there was, I don't want to go too much into it, but there was a group of people who were ascending to another dimension. And it was odd, in a sense of it being cultish. Like, I'm very woo woo, I get it, and I don't want to yuck anyone's yum, but this was a whole nother level. So it got me really thinking about how to manage, because we were like managing, we have these guests and they are expecting like the Amansala and the space that we have experienced in the past. And this group was very distracting and they're very distracting from the piece of it. And I will say Amansala didn't realize the level that these guys are going to take it to. So I will give them credit for that. Also, our guests were so amazing about the whole thing. Like, everyone was a little freaked out, but we just laughed about it. And even when it was really loud and noisy, like, everyone was just amazing about it. I'm so grateful. But thinking about, when people are on their own journey and people are doing their own thing, how you kind of handle that. And at the same time, like, it felt like when I was at the end of my trip in Mexico and coming back, maybe I was just on social, like I hadn't been on social media for a minute that much and then was on it a little bit more or something. I cannot believe how much toxic things I've seen from the knitting and the making community lately on Instagram. Of like, the knitting hot takes, I think is one of the shittiest things I've seen in a long time. People calling people out by their name or their design is just crazy to me. Like, we're, and I get it. Everyone is very upset and angry, and there's a lot of stuff going on, but that is misguided. In my opinion, that is misguided anger, emotions, energy that you're putting into the wrong place. These are women who are creating patterns for knitting. You don't have to buy it. If you don't like it, don't buy it. If you don't want to knit it, don't knit it. If you don't like the drop sleeve on a beautiful new sweater pattern, don't make it. You don't have to be like, oh, that's overrated. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's just, I mean, I frankly think it's disgusting. It makes me want to completely get off of Instagram. If I didn't think that there was still some community left on Instagram and that there is a business aspect. I also, like, I really love sharing on my stories. I love sharing what I'm doing. I love being able to show snippets of my life and my making and stuff like that. Like, I get something really positive out of that. If it weren't for that, I would just probably wash my hands of Instagram. I love seeing fashion things on there. I love seeing how people make their outfits. There's a lot of positive things happening on there, but I've just been like really surprised on how much negative things are coming from the knitting community. And then let's not get me started on craft snark. So I think the thing is that I hope that you can find the space to be angry and upset of what is happening in the world in a way that isn't hurting others and in a way that is more encompassing and understanding of our society as a whole and not individuals or individual groups. And I hope that you can find ways to help your community. We are biologically made up to only care for about 200 people. We are supposed to be in a tribal system. The internet has brought in a whole new world to us, and good and bad. And how we use that, how we use social media, how we use AI, how we use these new tools and technologies, I think it's up to us to make it good or bad. And if you find yourself needing to just be like, oh, this is blah, 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 write it out, then delete it. You don't need to put that energy back, because you know this is what happens. You're going to put that energy out and it's going to go and you're going to feel way worse. And I know you are. I've had just some interesting things happening lately of people like just saying off the wall things that I'm like, that's not how it is. That's not what are you talking about, you know? You guys probably don't know. I'm gonna move on before I have to start over again. Yeah, so I hope that you can find peace, and I hope that if you don't like something, you don't have to say something, and I hope that you can find space to build people up in our community, is what I really want to say. Sorry. More tangenty. Moving on. Oh my god. People are watching this for the first time. They're like, who the hell is this? Let's just jump right into what we're knitting and talk about what we're here to talk about. I really had to get that out, and I had to get it out in a public way because it's been driving me nuts. You know, my friends they say Candace is like a Karen, but a Candace is someone who calls people out when they're not doing the right thing. So they're like, oh, that's a Candace. Because I am someone who, if I see something that is hurting other people, I'm gonna say something. I remember this one time. This is just like an example of being a Candace. A Candace comes out quite, not quite often, but she will come out. The latest thing was like I had a parking garage issue, and like I take it as like collectively as a whole of downtown business owners. I'm always thinking of like a bigger level and like how this is hurting people. Anyways, we don't need to go on the parking garage thing. But my son, when he was like I think he was in second or third grade, he had this teacher who, she only liked the girls, she didn't like the boys. She faked it. It was so weird. And they had one of those things where you pick a country or something like that and you have to bring the food. Well, if you didn't bring a food, then you couldn't participate. And we live in a place where there's a lot of kids who don't even have food for their dinner table, let alone food from another country to bring to a classroom of 25 kids. So your girl got on that real quick and escalated it. So that is an example of being a Candace. And, gonna just be mindful and peaceful. But I'm at this point of like not really letting things slide anymore either. Like, no. My friend Kate says, miss me with the bullshit. And that's what I feel like. Okay. Point our fingers down. Let's talk about what I'm knitting. Let me have some coffee first. It's a one thing I miss in other countries is oat milk. I am a oat milk cappuccino girly. Soy milk, coconut milk, almond milk, no thank you. So I'm very excited to be back home drinking my oat milk cappuccinos. Okay, so last time I was knitting I think I had started my sepia stripes by Hohi. That has not been released yet. It's on the floor behind me drying right now. I finished that when I was in Tulum, and I steam blocked it, and then I came home and tried it on with some outfits, and it was just a little bit too short, so I wet blocked it, and I'm hoping that it's the perfect fit now. I really love the pattern. I'm hoping my next podcast I'll be wearing it and it will be released. I'm not really sure. And Hohi made it with Myax yarn, and so I'm like not in, I don't want to I don't want to step on any toes with that collaboration or anything like that. I obviously am going to show off my sample and tell you guys all about it. One thing though that I will say that was interesting is that for the increases, you increased every single round, and that was challenging for me in that it wouldn't pucker. But Coco Knits, I guess, has patterns where you increase every round, and this is what Andrea was telling me because I was asking her about it, and she said that they have some sort of like tutorial or trick to make it so it doesn't pucker. So I'm gonna knit it again because I love the fit so much, and I'm not gonna do it striped. I'm gonna do it solid in Confluence cotton, and I'm gonna look up that method. So I'm hoping I'll have like two to show you, maybe even. No, because I have too much knitting to do. I think I'm gonna knit that in June. Anyways, you know. Have you guys, okay, does anybody watch Beverly Hills Housewives? It is my like trash TV obsession. And if you do, Kathy Hilton talks a little bit like that. Like, you know? And then, oh, yeah, like, yes. And she just expects you to like know and follow along. That's very much how I talk a lot of the times. And I'm really lucky because I have a couple people at work who speak that same language with me. McKenna is one, and she's like, yep, got it. And Alyssa, God bless her, tries so hard to keep up with me. I think working with me for like 7-8 years, really, you know, you have to, at that point, you have to decipher what the hell I'm saying. Okay, so when I was in Mexico, I finished that, and then I'm gonna give you guys a sneak peek because, not that I want to, I need to. Okay, so we have a book coming out. Okay, we have a book coming out for our book club, and it is, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you the book, but I'm going to show you the yarn. One of the yarns. There's going to be a variegated and there's going to be a solid. Now, this is what happened. I was like, I want a solid, and then the boys put all of the solids together, and they made, I wanted a variegated. I needed like, blah, 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 blah. I wanted a variegated, and they put all of the colors for the variegated together, and they made a solid, and I love it. So, and they were like semi trying to hide it from me. I don't really know why. This is it. It goes perfectly with the book. I can't wait to show it to you. I haven't named it yet. Yeah, so it's on Bearpaw DK. It's the most beautiful lake green. Can you guys see it? Green, blue, gray. Mwah. I love it. And this is it on Bearpaw Sock. Come on, buddy. Oh yeah, so good. So I brought it to Tulum, and I was very cocky, and because I wanted a low contrast for this sweater called the Edinburg sweater. I'm not sure, I'm gonna link it so you can see the sweater. I'm not sure who it's by, and so I was like, okay. What the heck was that? Oh, probably the dog's gonna start barking. So this is the den, and I was like, oh, I'll do the den, and I'll do this. And there's enough contrast. I didn't bring any other colors. Girl, there is not enough contrast. I even took a picture on black and white. I was like, yep, that's fine. No, you couldn't even see the damn color work. So then I was like, I can't knit I was having an existential crisis. I also got, whenever I go to Mexico, my tummy gets really funny just from the different like biome that they have down there. So I always like have like a weird stomach. But then one of the days I got like sick, like hot, fevery, like I just did not feel good. And then I wasn't knitting because I didn't have a knitting project, and I was having an existential crisis. I was like, what's happening? I don't feel good and I don't have my knitting. So I couldn't knit that. but I just decided to knit. I ended up after like 2 days of starting different things, buying like 15 freaking patterns to do. I ended up just making a Sophie scarf. So this is my Sophie scarf. That was very anticlimactic. This is my Sophie scarf that I'm making, more just to knit it. I'm not really sure. Am I a Sophie scarf kind of girl? We'll find out. All right, let's pull my pants up. My muffin top's showing. Okay. There we go. I don't know. There's just something like a bandana around the neck that just like, I don't really know if it's for me. That's kind of cute. It's cute with this. I'm not quite sure what it is. I do try. So I have a lot of bandanas. All right, what's going on here? Okay. So, da-da, there's my Sophie scarf. Okay, that's utilitarian, but semi-boring. I knit this on the plane. It goes so fast. It's a great, quick project. What it came down to is I didn't want to have something on my needles that I hadn't had planned because, because I just have a lot going on. So this is what I'm knitting. When I came home, I was like, oh, yes, juniper actually, or not juniper, ranch romance will definitely work for this. So this is the Edinburg sweater that I'm working on. It is interesting because my color work is freaking immaculate. I'm sorry, but your girl's tension on color work is chef's kiss. But the increases are in between each colorwork section, and some of these early increases are like knit one, make one, knit two, make one. And that caused this really interesting like puckering right there that I've never experienced. And I'm trying to think so Caitlin's sweaters are, her increases are built in with the color work. They're not separate, and her increases are there's maybe more of them. They're maybe more gradual. It's like knit 8, make an increase. They're not as fast. I tried this on though, that puckering goes away. Like it's gonna block out and it's gonna be fine. And honestly, this looks so much better on than it does on the needles. I'm very excited about it, and I really just can't wait to tell you guys about the book, because the reason I chose this and the book, it's not in Edinburg. It has nothing to do with Scotland, but just the pattern itself reminds me so much of the book. I can't wait to share it with you. It was such a good book. So that's that. And with this one here, so there's a variegated coming too. I'm going to make the tiny tassels bandana, and it's a garter stitch bandana, and then it has all these little tiny tassels, and I'm going to do a mini skein for the tiny tassels. So amazing. Awesome. Trying to think what else I'm knitting. I have a lot planned knitting wise. I'm keeping up and knitting for Beanie Brigade. Luckily, Alex did last month because I was on the struggle bus with that. So I'm knitting. I should have brought that. Why didn't I do that? Well, it would have been a sneak peek, but I could have showed you last month's. I'm gonna have to start remembering to show you Beanie Brigade. Everyone's really enjoying it. It's been really fun doing that, and I'm excited. You still have time to sign up. What day? You have 1 day to sign up for Beanie Brigade for April, and it's a really beautiful color. So, and then also, yeah, June's going to be really fun too. So I have to knit that. And then Andrea's Rhinebeck sweater is going to be testing for that. I think it's going to be coming up. Usually it's like mid-May, and I'm going to knit that this year. and Tanks and Teas Cal is still going on. And so I have 2 tanks that I want to knit before the end of June. One of them is, I think I talked about this last time, but it's that Poison Apple by Lily Kate France. And I don't know if I showed my, I think it was blocking last time. I should have brought that, whatever. You'll see it, you'll see it. I want to knit that, and then I want to knit another stripe, sepia stripes by Hohi, but I'm going to make it a solid color. I'm thinking Turtle Time, but I also want a bright color. But Confluence Cotton probably isn't the choice for a bright color. So anyways, yeah, that's what I'm making. And I'm excited just to keep knitting through the summer. I'm going to be on a roll. So I don't really have, well, I'm going to go to Knit City in Montreal as just a spectator. Probably hang out there, do a pass through on Saturday, and check out Montreal. So if you're going to be there, let me know. And hopefully I can see lots of people. And then I think, well, I'm not going to say it yet, but I think I'm going to be going somewhere for Worldwide Knit and Public Day and be doing a trunk show. But I haven't gotten full confirmation yet. So I'm like tempted to go look at my email right now to see if they emailed me back. And that's all. I finished my king salmon sweater a while ago, and we had Fish Girl spring celebration that was going on while I was in Mexico, and I cannot tell you how happy this sweater makes me. I also think it makes other people really happy too. I haven't worn it in the wild. I've only worn it for the photo shoot. I'm very excited to be able to wear it today. And when I was at the photo shoot, there were several people who came up like, I love your sweater. So yeah, such a fun, cool design, right? I love it. I love the sleeve. I love a drop shoulder or a drop sleeve. It's very comfy. It's very cozy. Now, I'll say this about drop sleeves. I'm trying to think of all of it. I wear a lot of drop sleeve sweaters. I do like them. I'll even modify sweaters a lot of the times to make them drop sleeve. The only time, and this is, I think, one of the things is people are like, oh, you can't even lift your arm, blah, blah, blah. Well, make it longer. I don't know. Like, that's it. It's the style of the sweater. It's the fit of the sweater. Like, just make it longer. And then when you lift up, I don't care about that. I don't care if people see my muffin top. I don't care if people see my belly button. My pants are usually high-waisted enough to not see my belly button. Like, I just don't care. I like the fit of it. It's comfortable. The only time, this is the same thing, there's another sweater too that I have. It is the, I can't remember the name. Oh, the sheep camp sweater. It's the same, it has that like really nice drop sleeve on it. I love it. Only time I don't like wearing a drop sleeve is when I'm traveling and I have a lot of bags to manage, you know, and I have straps and stuff like that. That's the only time I find that it's not my favorite. Unless it's a swancho. The Nanilchik swancho, I think, has enough of like, it's like, you know, it's like down to here. And so you're more wearing like a poncho with little tiny dinosaur sleeves. That I think I could get into while I'm traveling. Because, man, it's so cozy. We're going to do an Nanilchik Swancho reboot. And we've made it in Bear Paw. We're getting a sample in Bear Paw DK. I'm very excited about it. That's also something that I don't know if I should have said yet, but I did. So, I love that sweater. Yeah, I love the fit of it. I love the color. Val, after our beloved Val Kilmer, have been a Val Kilmer fan for a very long time. We have a few colorways named after Val. Mad Mardigan is named after Val. We had I'll Be Your Huckleberry, but that was in a, maybe that was Recollect Worsted or something like that. It got discontinued. What else? There's Mad Mardigan. Oh, Why Johnny Ringo. And then now we have Val. So 3 colorways really named after Val Kilmer or Val Kilmer's characters. There is a documentary called Val, about Val Kilmer and all of his video footage and his childhood. It's a very, very good. I highly recommend it. He was a very spiritual man. And I think he's so cool. He like kind of fought against the system and made sure that the things that were important to him as far as representation went happened. And so, yeah, I think he's so cool. And then I also, on the way back from Mexico, I really love listening to a celebrity biography or autobiography. It's like one of my favorite things to listen to because they're really interesting. Lisa Marie Presley's it was her and her daughter. I think she wrote it and then her daughter like kind of finished it. Her daughter narrates it. It was one of my favorite books from last year. It's just so good. I love pop culture though, so I mean, a lot of people really love pop culture, so I love a biography. So I listened to Val Kilmer's biography on the way home, and it took me like, 7 hours to listen to it. It was really great. So this colorway is Val, and it is, if you did the Advent last year, it's so pretty. If you did the Advent last year, this was the pink that was in there. We took that and added just a little bit of purple to it. I wanted this really lovely pink purple color. And so that is what we got. I don't know if it's showing it very well. Most of the time I just bought this like iPhone stand and it has a microphone and a light. And I forgot it, and McKenna set it out for me, and I was like, why did she set that out? Well, duh. Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit. This is made out of Pishkin. Oh, and this other color is Paul Newman. Paul Newman is a gray, brown, and sometimes a little undertone of purple in there. So it depends what it's really paired with. It's never the same. Paul Newman is an elusive colorway. Sometimes he's black, sometimes he's brown, sometimes he's just doing whatever he does. So if you go on Ravelry and you're looking at Paul Newman, you're like, it's not the same. Well, no, because we hand dye every single skein by hand. Every single skein. It does not go through a machine. The dye comes and sometimes it's a little bit different. Sometimes it's a granule. Sometimes it's a powder. We don't know. We're doing what we can and the interpretation of the color and making it as close as possible. But it's never going to be exactly the same. Some colorways, yes, you can get them like the same every single time. Some colorways like this. Another one was Monarch, which I like put my foot down with Monarch for the longest time. And then finally I was like, all right, this is out of control how different this is every single time. If you're not sure if you're gonna have enough yarn, buy an extra skein. You can make a hat with it. You could stash it. You could put it in a de-stash. You could trade with a friend. But you will be so sad when you get another skein 3 years later and it doesn't match. And I'm always shocked that people are surprised. I really, really am. And maybe that's just a lesson for me in marketing and educating people about hand-dyed yarn. That it truly is just like, we're dyeing, boop, boop, boop. 1 skein, 5 skeins at a time. So, hence why Paul Newman is always a little bit different. Pishkin, I just went and grabbed like some really fun, I mean, obviously I'm like kind of in a bright mood because I just chose a lot of bright colors. I did some neutrals. Let's do the neutrals. Well, not neutrals, but earth tones first. Oh, Pishkin is so special. It is a rambouillet, a Montana and Wyoming rambouillet. They also call it a mountain merino. And this is coming from Mountain Meadows Mill that is in Wyoming. Thank God for Mountain Meadows. They are keeping our non-superwash wool industry alive for makers. Yeah, I'm just like in this mode of like, let's do everything we can to sell the yarn for non-superwash yarns because we want the industry to be alive and well. We want Mountain Meadows to do really well so they continue to mill beautiful yarn for us. This yarn, the wool comes from Montana and Wyoming. I said that, rambouillet. I just want to keep saying it though, because it feels so special that it's so close to us. And it is, over the years, Pishkin has changed a lot. When we first got it, it was maybe not as, it was a little bit crunchier. And there were sometimes a little bit more bits in it, where over the years it's gotten much, much softer. I would even say, okay, so I used to say Pishkin is a heavy DK light worsted. We're now knitting it up. It really kind of is closer to a true DK. The yardage hasn't changed. It really is just the wool. Now, maybe the wool that they're getting is a little bit softer because we've had harsher winters. Is that true? I don't know what their storage facility is like. Are they keeping these for years? And have we had harsher winters? The last 2 years we've gotten more snow. If you have harsher winters, typically the wool is softer and better because it's growing more abundantly. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure if that is it or why, or maybe it's their, I don't know if it's their process. I always say this, I can't believe that I have never been down there, and I need to go down there desperately and find the time to do that. I just need to make that a priority to go tour their facility. My dream is, you want to hear my dream? This is something I've been thinking about for a long time. Now, nobody steal this damn idea either. I want to take a couple of designers with me and a photographer, and I want to go on a road trip around Montana and Wyoming to different ranches where the sheep are from our Pishkin, Sioux Copy, Recollect, Reminisce, hang out, just see them, kind of go to these like small little towns in Montana, really get the feel for it, let the designers really get the feel for it, get inspired, go to Mountain Meadows, tour their facility, do a whole thing, and then let the designers go and create like, you know, like 6 designs, just do a collection, 4 designs, and then come back and publish it. That's my dream. It just takes time, you know, and the right time. Now that I said it out loud, I have to do it though. I've been thinking about it for a long time. Okay. Anyways, this is Why Johnny Ringo, which is like one of my favorite lines in Tombstone. And it is a beautiful Grello. It is, and with Ranch Romance, you're gonna see this combo probably several times from us, because I love this combo. I think it's so cool, so grungy, and just Why Johnny Ringo, so good. Yeah, if you haven't tried Pishkin, I highly recommend you do. This is Sunny's. This lighting isn't fantastic. If you haven't watched us before, I have a window right here and I have a big window right here, and they're just like meep. So this is Pretty Shield, one of, I mean really one of, in my opinion, one of our best colorways. Gorge, beautiful, amazing, Stunning. Okay, now for some of these bright colors. I mean, you guys know your girl likes some fugitive. I just thought it would be fun to show some colors. It's so saturated on, we use a little bit more dye and we go a little bit of a slower process on our non-super washes. Pishkin is just like soaking up the color so gorgeously. It's green bitch on this. I need a sweater. I need a sweater out of that. This is another color I need a sweater out of too. I wore this recently. Yesterday or the day before. I just have like a machine, you know, sweater or blouse. I don't know what the hell you call a shirt. And yeah, it's Livy Lou, which is named after my niece cousin. Daddy State of Mind. Ooh, another green, glorious. I just saw a spoiler for Last of Us, and I feel like they shouldn't have spoiled what they spoiled. Yeah, so anyways, Daddy State of Mind is named after Pedro Pascal. It's named after all the daddies, but, you know, the ultimate Hollywood daddy is Pedro. That's why I thought about Last of Us. Okay, let's talk a little bit more about Fish Girl Spring. We got, I love tinned fish. I grew up going fishing. My dad did a lot of ice fishing mostly, and we always brought tinned fish with us. And now we have access to all of this delicious, fancy tinned fish. Now, if you live in a city, you're going to be able to find probably tinned fish, you know, like cool little local markets or even your grocery store. I mean, you guys got those Whole Foods and all your fancy things. And actually, Trader Joe's has the best trout tinned fish. So we would always just get like smoked oysters, and that was always our snack when we were fishing, is tinned fish. So I love tinned fish. My mouth is going to start watering. I'm gonna drink some more of my coffee. Okay, so for Fish Girl Spring, we bought a bunch of tinned fish to resell. And I'm just going to, I want to sort them by brand, I guess. It goes there. Maybe these all go, I got all of those and only that. Oh, wow. Did I just bring all of these? Okay. This brand Tiago Manuel. Oh no, maybe that's the, what the hell? Why can't I find the brand on here? Okay, I'm sorry guys. Look under, I'm gonna link Fish Girl Spring collection. You'll see it. Okay, smoked small sardines and extra virgin olive oil. I'm just gonna tell you guys what I would do with these, because sometimes I think people are like, some people are scared of tinned fish. It's okay, you don't have to be scared. It's actually really good, and mostly it's incredibly good for you. One of the best things for you. Okay, this is smoked small sardines and extra virgin olive oil, and plus the, can you see that? The illustrations on these are so cute. This is what I did. I had, actually I had a small group of FDF ladies come over, and I cut out this right here, and then I just put the tinned fish on trays with this like propped up against it, so then everyone could see what the tinned fish was and still see the cute little logo on it. So this is what I would do. Like if you're like, I want to try some of that tinned fish, what do I do with it? You could do a little tinned fish tasting, which is really fun. You could have some friends over. You could do it by yourself. You could do it with your partner, whatever you want. And then you could have several different types of tin fish to try. You could do a little bit of cheese. I highly recommend like some fruit and some like veggies in there, just some fresh things to like cleanse your palate a little bit. You could do crackers, you could do bread. You could even do rice too, some rice balls or something like that. That would be really good. So it kind of depends where you're going. You could, I definitely think, make some of this catered to more of like a Japanese, Asian style tasting. You can also, some of these like actually make meals and cook with them, which I'll explain. Okay. Small sardines and extra virgin olive oil. For this, I would do for like a tasting. Yeah. This spiced tuna pate. Very delicious. This was one of my favorites. Oh, and these are all Portuguese. So they're all from Portugal, which Portugal is like known for their tin fish. They're the capital of tin fish. Spiced tuna pate, I would put on a cracker. I mean, some of these, it's like you just want the taste of it. Okay, smoked trout fillets and extra virgin olive oil. Oh, Jose, that's what these are. Are these two? Yeah. Jose is the name of the brand of these ones that I'm showing you. Smoked trout fillets and extra virgin olive oil. And also fish wives, which this has become really popular. That. And then this one right here. I love doing eggs and smoked trout fillets. It's one of my favorite meals to make. I just scramble up eggs with the smoked trout fillets, and then maybe on the side, I'll do some like bitter greens. So either some kale, which isn't that bitter. You could do some chard, something like that. I'll just throw a little bit of vinegar on them, some garlic, and really good. You could also do like a little rice ball with these unagiri. You could make with these too. So trout fillets, one of my favorite tin fish is trout fillets. Same with the smoked salmon and the extra virgin olive oil. I love that artwork. And you could make a smoked salmon dip. You could just mix it with some cream cheese for a dip, for a party, for whatever. The other thing I really like doing with the smoked salmon and with the albacore tuna, this is another Fish Wives, is like one of my favorite easy like grab and go lunches is I'll do leftover rice or make rice, or sometimes when I'm in a pinch, I don't love eating these because I don't like eating out of plastic, but Costco has the like little rice 2-minute rice things that you make. They're like in little plastic thing. The rice, it's like sticky rice, is actually really good, but you're heating things up in plastic. I mean, you're also though eating delicious fish with, they're just, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So I'll do that, and then I'll just get the little packs of seaweed. I'll put a little bit of rice on there. I'll put a little bit of tuna on there. You could also mix the tuna with a little bit of QP mayo. You could mix the smoked salmon with a little bit of QP mayo. I like to have a little sliced avocado and sliced cucumber, and then I just make like a little rice taco in the seaweed and eat it. And that's such a quick, healthy, delicious lunch. Low prep work, right? Oh, this codfish in olive oil with garlic, I think we only have, this might be the last one. This is very good, very buttery, very delicious. I would have this I would just have this on a cracker. I also would make like a little, like if I was gonna make just like a little thing of soup, I would maybe even put this in some like fish soup. I think would be really good with this. So, again, my mouth is watering. Anchovies. Have you guys ever had delicious canned anchovies? So good. Now, Caesar salad, sure, put your anchovies in there. One of my favorite things to make, this is an old Rachel Ray recipe. This is how I learned how to cook, was Rachel Ray. And take some olive oil. You just put some anchovies in there, and you let them melt. And sorry, Xander's texting me, and I gotta tell him I'm not done yet. Can you give me 20? I had to start over. Sorry, Zanny. He's gonna take the dogs to the vet. Okay, so you just melt the anchovies in there, you put some garlic in there, and then you cook some linguine, and you just put the cooked linguine in these like anchovy oil. You could put anything in there. You could put clams. We have canned clams. I would highly recommend those for a pasta dish. So good. You could also put in, you know, some tomatoes, you could put in some greens, you can put in whatever, but it just makes such a super simple, delicious, just by cooking anchovies down in olive oil, really for any dish, is very, very good. I love anchovies. I can just eat them. Anchovies on pizza though, I think I need to go somewhere where that is well done. I don't live in pizza climate, you know. Thank you, sweetie. Marinated mussels, same thing. I'm just eating these like on the bank of a river with some crackers and a nice Prosecco. Delish. So I hope that gave you some ideas. If you like fish and you like seafood, and you haven't tried tin fish, just try it. It's delicious. It's good. I tried to get ones that I all would approve of. Okay, also in the Fish Girl Summer, Fish Girl Spring, whatever. Fish Girl Spring was something that I like, we were saying internally because we were going to release it in the spring, and it was like the Fish Girl aesthetic. I don't know. Somebody tried to say that like I copied them saying it, and I didn't. Yeah, I just came up with a very, to me, unoriginal name and couldn't think of anything better to say. So, sour elderfish, gluten-free and vegan. These are so good. Honestly, I'm surprised we have any of these left because, oh, I was like, I just got to zoom in by, I was like, oh shit. Nope, not yet. I did forget about it though, so I'm glad I got that reminder. I'm surprised we have any of these left. They are so delicious. You know, just a little bonbon, Swedish treat. I like, when I'm shopping, I like to get little things like that for my kids. So then when I'm like, they're like, another package? I'm like, yeah, but look at it. I got you something. I got you a little sweet treat. Oh, these are my favorite. I wanted to get these. I wanted these ones, and I chose these ones, which I love too because they went a little bit better with my sweater. And I like these when I'm just like, I mean, okay. I like to style these guys and these guys in like doing little like top knotty bun type of situation. It's not that. And then I like to put these in there because I think they're cute. But lately, I've just been doing this if I'm like washing my face, or you know, like your hair's down, you just like need it out of your face because you're concentrating on a drop stitch. These come in really handy for that, or cooking or anything like that. I mean, they're obviously cute and you can style them, but I've been using them a lot just to be like swoop without screwing up my hair too much. These ones open up, they're like more of a clip like this. Let's see how many we have in stock. I might have to get these ones because I think the green is so cute. Oh. And then we have like a fish. I wear these clips all the time. I don't want to take this out. I mean, that's not really great QVC material there. Protocol, QVC protocol, take it out of the package. Okay, Fish Girl. Let's keep Fish Girl spring going through the summer. I saw Caitlin's designing a lightweight version of the King Salmon sweater. And she has a hat. And there's also the halibut, which this is what I want to make the halibut out of, is this. Or something. Out of Why Johnny Ringo, though. Yeah, I love it. And just so you guys know, before I move on with this, is that I knit a size 3. It's one size bigger than I would usually go, and I made it a little bit cropped because I was asking Caitlin what size I should do and how I should style it, and this is what she told me to do, and I listened to her, and I'm so glad and grateful. My gauge, I don't know if it was on because when I got the pattern, there was no gauge included in it. I don't think. So I just knit it. But I'm usually pretty close to whatever Caitlin's gauge is, so I wasn't too worried about it. I can't remember. I put it in my comments. I did a reel with this and I put it in my comments, so you can find it there. Okay, moving on to another beautiful colorwork sweater. This is the Coyote Moon. It's so pretty. We got this sample a little bit bigger. If you didn't see the pictures of Alexandra in this, go to Instagram and look at them. They're so beautiful. This is by Natascha Tulloch. And we use Spinster's Daughter Worsted. This is Winter Wolf, Scorpio's Moon, and Daddy's State of Mind. That color combo is so pretty. I love Spinster's Daughter Worsted. I can't get enough of this crunchy, delicious, superwash yarn, American wool, spun by Spin Cycle Yarns, dyed by the Farmer's Daughter Fibers, and our cutesy little logo there. I love this collab. I love this yarn. For a non-superwash, it's crunchy, it's bouncy, it doesn't stretch, it just goes right back to form. It's because of the beautiful milling done by Spin Cycle. If you get Spinster's Daughter Sport, Spinster's Daughter Worsted, be mindful when you are winding it, when you cut your skein. You want to make sure, because it's in a dyer's knot, not to pull it through. That won't work. You have to make sure that it's coming out of the right end and going around the correct way. If you pull the entire dyer's knot through and then cut it, you're screwed, because it has just wrapped all upon itself right there. So be very mindful when you are winding Spinster's Daughter Worsted. If you are like, I don't want to wind my yarn, Candace, I am a knitting queen, just let us know. You can sign up and you can purchase yarn winding. We're happy to do it for you at a cost, a small cost. It takes time. It takes our employees a lot of time to wind. So, and next week, I'm just going to move on. I didn't really plan on talking about this, but I'm going to. Next week, we are going to be rearranging the shop. I've been wanting to do it for a really long time, probably a year, where things are at. I just feel like we can have a better layout of the shop. So we're going to be rearranging some things. We're going to be moving some things. And I'm very excited. One change that I know we're going to be making is that we are going to still offer winding in store, but it's going to be a 24-hour wait period for that winding, because we're going to be sending it to the back to wind. One of the reasons why is winding creates a lot of extra fluff, and it is actually creating such a mess in the shop. And where we're going to be moving things, it's going to be close to the fabric, and I don't want all of that fluff. I mean, you'd be shocked how much fluff there is. It's going to be creating too much fluff to be close to the fabric. So we're going to be doing in the back. If you want to get your yarn wound in the shop, happy to do so. First 2 skeins free, but you're going to have to wait. But we will have a winding station set up for you to wind your own yarn. So that is that. And we'll teach you. You can have a little winding lesson, and then we'll let you do your thing. So, what else do I have, you guys? I think I can wrap things up here pretty quick. How the hell? I mean, you give me an hour and I will use every minute of it. Oh, I have all kinds of things on here. Trees, always. Okay, let's fly through this. Okay, 2 new bags I want to show you guys from Redesign. This one right here is this super freaking cool rustic backpack. It is the Project 55, and I love this backpack because I love a like little buckle moment, but I hate getting the buckles out and doing and fiddling with it, and then you're like, oh, where's all my shit? But this is really nice because you have these high-powered magnets right here, so you get the look of it, but you get the convenience of being like, la joop. So easy, so nice. Da-da. Okay, so get these off. You have this pocket right here for your wallet, for your phone. Same thing. This one, whoop. On the bottom, you have leather, and then you have these to kind of protect the bottom a little bit. So, you know, when you set things down and you get your canvas all dirty, that's not going to happen. Inside, you have, well, you're not going to be able to see it. I'm just going to tell you. You have 3 pockets right here. 1, 2, 3. Then you have a zipper pocket right here on the back. Boop, right there. And then you have an endless amount of room for all of your shit. And I also love this to tighten it up. Boop. What a great little summer backpack. Ooh, and even look on the back here, you also have this pocket for your passport. I think it's really cool. And we have another color as well. So there is that. And then this is, dare I say, this is my favorite Redesign bag because I've been using the Project 39 with the strap, and I love that. I love the Project 10. I love the Project 39. This is called the Fi, F-I-E, Fi, Fofum. This thing is massive. It is, okay, well, buckled all up, you know, you got a bag, do-do-do, but you open this bad boy up. I don't even know if I can really show you guys the effect of this. It is the size of an IKEA bag. Literally, the size of an IKEA bag. The leather is so thin and so soft, but still so strong. Everything that is on my desk right now, which is a lot of shit that I'm showing you for this podcast, fit into this bag and was actually like not even that bad to fill up. It also has this little inside pocket where you can stash your money. I, as a business owner, when I'm going into the shop every day, I have so much shit. I have like, I'm just coming in with like armfuls of stuff. Not anymore because I have this massive, super classy bag. I also would bring this as a carry-on. Oh, and it has, okay, so it has a, like, again, that little awesome magnetic clasp. But then it has this right here, so you can secure it even more. I would bring this as a carry-on and put like my Project 10 in here. I would put my makeup bag in here. I would put a lot of shit in here. And I just think it's a great, like, you know, stuff 5 different bags in here. Road trips, I will be using this. Also, for if you are going to a yarn show and you're doing a lot of shopping at a yarn show, I really think this is your bag. Yeah, it's amazing. I'm very stoked. We have it in this color. We have it in a lighter color, the walnut, or is this walnut? Listen, again, my QVC skills. This is walnut. We have it in burnt tan, which is really lovely. And we're gonna be getting in the fall like a recycled checkered one too, which I'm very excited about. Moving on. Oh, because we're doing this like little revamp in the shop next week, we're going to be closed Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and we're also going to be putting a lot of stuff on sale, so continue to check the sale bin. We have a lot of new fabrics in and a lot of new patterns in, so sign up for the newsletter if you're not, so you can see all of those come in too. And I have these glasses to show you. I'm just going to show you a couple. So we have these Caddis glasses. You guys have maybe seen these in other boutiques. I wanted to offer glasses because in Great Falls, we don't have a lot of places that have cute readers. So these are, we have different styles, different strengths, between 0 and like 2.5. These are 2s. These are too much for me. But they are some like super cute lenses. These are a little bit bigger. These ones right here are the Miklos Matte Black. I don't know. I feel like I should have opened these up and been a little bit more organized. So I think what I'll do is come back to this another time, but I want you guys to know about them because I haven't really said anything on social media. I maybe put it in a newsletter a while ago. I have like 3 pairs of these. Where they keep going, I don't know. I think that's what happens when you get older, is you get readers and you lose them. I mean, it's just a part of the... I really love these ones. These ones are bone, and a lot of them are blue light glasses. Green, blue, RGB is what they're called. So they are good for protecting your eyes. And yeah, we have black, we have cream. We have ones that are a little bit smaller lenses or smaller frames. Those ones are the Wabi Sabi. The Miklos are, ooh, the turtle one. I love this one too. Can you see? Yeah, so we have lots of really fun ones. Polished bone. I was gonna see if I could find the cool one. Oh yeah, these ones are super cool. I have these. Where the hell are they? Where are all my glasses? See you so well now. They're probably scattered in knitting bags, I'm sure. Okay, so those are the glasses. Check them out. I'll put the link on. What I am reading, well, I have this whole other thing I was going to talk about, and it is about I've gotten a lot of questions, and we recently did the Wool and Wander collection. So I've had several people ask, like, how is the best way to collaborate if you're a designer? First of all, how, as a designer or a dyer, do you start out? And what makes for a good collaboration, and how to make a powerful pitch. And so I think I will just go through it. Xander's just gonna have to wait, or he might just come in and we might still be chatting. That's okay. So technically, like, I guess I am a knitwear designer because I do have some designs, but it's not my full-time job. My full-time job is running a company that hand dyes yarn, but also it's a big part of our industry is design wear, does knitwear design. And I think that I have a really solid, strong mindset around releasing patterns. So I'm gonna just say, if you're a designer or a dyer and you're just starting out, here are some of the things that I did that helped me through the beginning of my journey. One thing is that, like, you do you. I had to put blinders on to what everyone else was doing. I kept in mind what the industry standards were and where the industry is going and what is popular, but I really tried to focus on what I was doing, and creating an authentic and personal branding, I think, is very vital. And it doesn't have to be personal branding. That's what I chose to do. It makes my job really easy. Um, I think that I think whatever your branding is, it does need to set yourself apart, however that is. I always had the mindset that my competition was actually my best asset, that if our industry is healthy and other people are succeeding, that means I was just as likely to succeed as well. I really used fake it till you make it, but I know that that can also be, in a corporate setting, it can be a little toxic. And I think that it can lead to burnout. But I did fake a lot of things. I didn't show my dye studio when I was at my house. I faked the pictures and the things as much as I possibly could. Now, this was in 2016, and that clean aesthetic was very in. Now, like, the grunge aesthetic and real aesthetic is more popular. So maybe that has changed. And I also think that perseverance is incredibly important. You can allow yourself time to wallow in your failures or things that aren't going well, but that wallowing has a deadline, and you have only so much time. I'm going to allow myself to beat myself up about this, or be pissed about this, or be sad about this, and then I'm moving on and I'm forgetting that happened. It's behind me. I'm continuing to move on. I also think staying professional is extremely important when you're first starting out. Start a newsletter, follow the social media trends, do a lot of research, invest in a photographer, invest in a camera, have an aesthetic that's really recognizable is really important. This can really go hand in hand in designs or dyers. And I would say, don't throw in the towel if you have a few pattern releases that flop, if you have a couple of shop updates that flop. It really does take a lot of time. It's easy to see someone, I think, like us, or someone more well established. But when I first started out, it took me a year, and it took me until I took every single opportunity I possibly could. I did locals farmers markets. I saved up enough to do shows. I worked with as many designers as I possibly could. I did wholesale. I stretched it to the limit, and I faked my aesthetic. I faked how professional we were, even though I was like in a dungeon dyeing yarn. I faked all of that as best that I could while still being myself, to take every opportunity. And then I got to a point where I'd be like, okay, I don't want to do this. I do want to do this. Then you can start picking and choosing. But I think that really taking as much opportunity as you possibly can. That also meant teaching at my local yarn shop, doing trunk shows at my local yarn shop, doing everything I could. And that just built practice. Maybe it didn't make me a bunch of money. Maybe, it's like small time, but it helped me practice who I was in my business as well. Um, I think there was one more thing I was going to say about that. I wrote down expect nothing, manifest everything. I think, yeah, just throwing, I've gotten asked a lot lately to talk about this. And I've also seen some designers just kind of throwing in the towel, being like, I can't do this. My stuff isn't popular. These people are doing, they're only buying yarns from one designer, blah, 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 blah. And I just think it's frustrating. I get it. I know. Take that, wallow in it, then refine your stuff and make it better and figure out who your audience is, because our yarn is not for everyone, and that's okay. Like, I don't expect our yarn to be for everyone. I don't expect our aesthetic to be for everyone. It is for a group of people, and those are our people. And I think that you have something to offer somebody out there. Now moving more a little bit to talking about like designers, and working with designers, and this is what my like experience is. Now this is also, I'll say this is for when people pitch a collaboration to us, but also this is what I do when I'm pitching an idea to someone else. First of all, I want to know what your vision is in less than 5 sentences. I have so many decisions to make throughout the day. I probably have 20 decisions to make every single hour of my day. That includes when I get home and what's for dinner and what's this. As a woman business owner, I don't want to make any more decisions. Please, when I go and visit my girlfriends like that, aren't running businesses and they have 9 to 5 jobs and they're like, what do you want to do when you're here? I'm like, you decide. I don't care. I want people to make decisions for me a lot of the times. So paint us a picture. What is your vision for this? And then a plan for an execution, and very specifically, what do you need from us? I don't want to guess what you need from me. I don't want to have to read between the lines what you need from me. When I am pitching something, I'll usually say like, here's my vision, this is what I want, this is what I'm thinking, and then I'll say, this is what you can expect from me. Here's, 10 things, 5 things, 3 things, whatever it is. It's usually you can expect something monetary. So whether that's yarn support, whether that's an actual fee, whatever that is. And then this is what I would like from you. This is what I expect from you. And then you list out, what are you actually expecting from them? That way, as you move along in the collaboration, nothing gets confusing, nothing gets, out of context. I've said what my expectations are, and I've told you what you can expect from me. I also like to give as much creative, like if I'm pitching something to someone, I usually have a couple of things, like here's exactly what I want, but most of the time I want you to have creative freedom. If I'm asking a designer to collaborate, I'll usually say like, I really need a sweater in this yarn, or I would like to have a new sweater in this yarn. I'd like to have a shawl in this yarn. I'd like to have an advent, whatever, in this yarn. Here's the color palette that I'm thinking. And then I'll say, but I really want you to have as much creative freedom as possible. I never want to put a designer in a box of like, this is exactly what I want. I want them to do their thing. And same thing if I'm asking an artist for something, for drawings. I want them to have creative freedom, because then I know they're going to be excited about it and they're going to bring their best product forward too. So I think keeping things really short and sweet when you're pitching someone and very clear is really nice. If I'm getting submissions, I like to know what yarn you're going to use, and I like to see a schematic or a drawing, and I'd like to see a photo of a swatch. Now, if you're like, when we're talking about collaborations, like if you're buying FDF yarn and you're just like doing your thing, that's freaking awesome. You do you. You don't need like, some people are just like, I just want to buy the yarn. I don't have the pressure of communicating with you about it. That's totally fine. I will say what I see as a successful collaboration, which means that we're making as many sales as possible for both the designer and the dyer, that the customers have a really clear representation of the project. Those to me is what like defines success, that people are excited about it, that people are buying the yarn, buying the pattern from it, because that's what we're here for. We are here to make money at the end of the day. We're here to like, it's a privilege that it's our creative power in it and we get to use that, but we need to pay our bills. I also want to say something about that too, but I remembered what I was going to say before, and hopefully I'll remember after I say this. What makes a successful collaboration to me, where we are the most successful, is knowing those expectations that we talked about. And then here is what I am going to do. This is what I expect from you. But then communication on release dates is so key. Like, I need 6 to 8 weeks notice when you're going to test. If I get an email, it's like, oh, I'm putting this up for test tomorrow. Can I have a discount code for my testers? I'm like looking like at my calendar being, we're very far ahead in our schedule. So if I have a little bit of notice, even if it was 2 weeks, it would make it work for us. If it's last minute, a lot of times I just have to be like, I kind of have to pass on it. I'll still do whatever I can to promote it, but I can't always be super involved in it. So getting those dates beforehand is really, really nice. Now, if you're just buying the yarn and you're doing your thing, that's amazing. But if we have given you yarn support and you have asked for yarn support, that actually is an expectation that we really try to hold true on, that you are very communicative about dates. So when things are going into testing, so we can get that code ready, we can make sure we have enough yarn, we can make sure that the virtual shopping, Alexandra, who's doing the virtual shopping, her schedule is a little bit more cleared. There's just a lot of things behind the scenes that go into it. And then a 6 to 8 week notice on when the pattern is going to be released. And like, we understand things are going to change, but just letting us know. So those were just kind of some like things that I thought about when I was getting these questions, and hopefully that's helpful. I know that a lot of you watching this aren't in the industry and you're our customers, and maybe that's interesting for you guys to know behind the scenes how things work for us. So, okay, I just want to talk really quickly about what I'm reading and what I'm watching, and then I'm gonna say goodbye because we're already at 1 hour and 22 minutes. Time just flies when you're chatting about yarn. When I'm going off in the beginning about staying positive. Okay, I read this, Fire Exit. I read this last year. It's so good. I don't think I've talked about it on here. It's by Morgan Talty. He also did Night of the Living Res. I love an Indigenous book that isn't all about the like negative plight of Indigenous life, like I like a nice integrated book that they're just natives and they're living life and they have problems like everybody else. I mean, I like the Indigenous saga. I resonate with it, but sometimes it gets me a little too down. So I love when there's a book where there's just Indigenous characters and they're doing their thing. There's a real representation of reservation life. And that's what this is. And it is, it's a great family story. I felt like it was not super predictable. Um, yeah, it's really, really good. Highly recommend it. Fire exit. I just finished The Safekeep by Jelle van der Wooden. That was a really good book. I found on Goodreads kind of this, when I went back to find it, I couldn't find it. It was like this list of some of the best books of the last decade. I don't know what this list was, but I found some really great ones. The Safekeep is one of them. If you're kind of maybe needing just like a different storyline, maybe one that's not so predictable, maybe one that's like not so wallowing in the characters. I just hate a character who goes on and on about like, oh, poor me. I can't stand it. This was a really interesting story. Highly recommend it. I can hear Xander pulling up. I also read Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. It's that book is kind of everywhere. It's really popular. If you go by a book stand, you'll probably see it. The first half, slow burn. I was like, this is depressing. It's about climate change. I'm not gonna lie, it gave me a lot of anxiety, especially reading it at night before bed. Probably wasn't the best choice, but then the last third of the book just so good. I really liked it, and the fact that I keep thinking about it and I keep talking about it, I think means it's a good recommendation. So, all right, you guys, I'm freaking out of here. I got a meeting to go to. I gotta get my nails done today, and I gotta celebrate Alexandra's birthday tonight. So, I hope you guys are doing well and enjoyed the podcast today, and I will catch you on our newsletters. Okay, peace out.